Welcome to the Connected Spirit Podcast, a space where the mystical and the human experience merge, where we explore what it really means to walk a spirit-led path. I'm Courtney Dawson, an ethical medium and mentor, and for as long as I can remember, I have felt the presence of the spirit world. But my journey hasn't been simple. It's been one of self-discovery, healing from religious and emotional trauma, navigating fear, judgment, and the loneliness that comes with embracing something the world doesn't always understand. This podcast is here to take what was once considered woo and bring it into the real lived experience of being human. Because mediumship isn't just something we do, it's who we are. Here we dive into the conversations no one else is having, breaking down misconceptions, exploring the unseen, and normalizing the journey of deep connection. We'll talk about the beauty and the struggle of being a medium. We'll laugh, we'll reflect, we'll go deep. And most importantly, we'll remember who we are, why we're here, and how spirit moves through us all. So if you've ever felt something more, if you've ever questioned the unseen, or if you're simply ready to embrace the fullness of your spiritual path, you're in the right place. Welcome back to the Connected Spirit Podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Dawson. Today, I'm joined by Lindsay Robinson, who is a spiritual hypnotherapist, founder of the Align Your Mind app, and co-host of the High Vibe In It podcast, who specializes in deep subconscious and soul level transformation. Her work supports women in releasing outdated inner programming and reconnecting with their soul's wisdom so they can jump timelines and embody the highest version of themselves. Her work blends neuroscience-backed subconscious work with intuitive and spiritual guidance to help her clients create lasting change, expand abundance, and live in alignment with who they came here to be. Woo! I'm so excited.
That's a lot.
Because it's a lot. But this conversation is amazing because it's really going to invite us to stop chasing alignment and start becoming it. So, Lindsay, welcome to the show.
I'm so excited to be here. We've already had such a good convo off recording, so I'm excited to dive in. I will just talk for days, so you might have to stop me. But I'm very passionate, if you can't tell, about you as people, me, and our journey on this earth and what we're here to do and how we can make it more pleasant, I guess.
God knows we need that right now.
We need that, yes.
So let's talk a little bit. How did you first discover that the subconscious mind was that missing link between what people want and what they actually attract? Now, for me, I find this really fascinating when we start looking at things from a scientific point of view. Obviously, I'm a spiritual person. I channel people's deceased loved ones. I'm all about that. But I find if we can bring science into it, it gives it a very balanced point of view. So we're not too far left where we're not really using our logical or thinking mind, and we could maybe even be a little deceived by our own wishful thinking, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. The whole reason I got introduced to hypnotherapy was I got a book from my sister. The book was called Destiny of Souls. You familiar? Michael Newton?
No.
Dr. Michael Newton. Highly recommend to anyone who hasn't read it. Anyone who has read it knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, I didn't know what a hypnotherapist was. I didn't know what this guy was talking about. He was a psychologist who accidentally tripped and fell into like past lives and reincarnation with his clients. He learned hypnotherapy as a method to help people, stop habits, quit smoking, get better relationships, the clinical stuff. And they just started spontaneously regressing into past lives, and their soul spirit started talking to him. And he was like, what the heck is going on? I was so fascinated by just my whole life. I was fascinated by what makes a human more than just skin and blood and bones and, all the physical stuff. Beyond the brain, what is the mind is really kind of what my questions were. And what is the spirit and what is the soul and how do we touch it? How do we speak to it? Anyway, as a kid, I translated that into ghost hunting. I really wanted to be a ghost hunter and anything with Ouija boards and, all the stuff. As I got older, it translated more into, as I got into college, it was like, well, you can't really study ghost hunting in college. So what are you going to study? I translated that then to like serial killers, right? I want to be a forensic psychologist. I really want to find out how you tick and what makes your brain different than my brain. And so I very quickly learned that wasn't for me. Okay. I'm not someone who can deal with that much death all the time, apparently. And thank goodness I learned that quickly. And thank goodness there are people in the world that can do that. Kudos, not me. I decided no. So when I came back to hypnotherapy, it took a kind of a journey because I waited like 8 years after I first got introduced to it. I had my first son. I realized I needed to figure out what I wanted to do when I grow up because I don't want to go back to a regular 9 to 5 and be away from my kid. I want to hang out with my kids. So what do I want to be when I grow up? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? Hypnotherapy came screaming back immediately. And so long story short, once I started studying it, I really thought, okay, this is it. I'm going to unlock all the mysteries and secrets of the universe. And I'm going to, talk to my soul and get to know other people and help them with their past lives and their soul contracts and all this stuff. And then very quickly learned it's quite a clinical scientific method. It's not magic. And that was sad because I really wanted to be Harry Potter. I really, really thought it was like something so mystical because anyone who knows anything about hypnosis, the first thing you're going to think of is like the waving clock or the spiral or just this like mystical smoke and mirrors kind of thing, this like magic show. There's a reason it's at magic shows, right? But it isn't. It's a process of getting someone into a state of receptivity so they can hear and receive information that changes their subconscious mind. And in order to allow that subconscious to lift up and listen to you, you have to enter a receptive state. Usually that looks like the dreamy, floaty feeling right before you fall asleep, right? It's like that feeling that you're awake, but you're also somewhere else. It's 1 foot in reality, 1 foot out of reality. And so all I know how to do is help you get to that space. You tell me what you'd like to learn and believe as true, because anything that will ever happen in your life is only because your subconscious believes it is true, period. Like if you want to manifest something, you have to get your subconscious on board. And so that's kind of what I help people do. Oh, and by the way, you will also go on past life journeys. You will also meet your spirit guides. Because that's just my favorite stuff to do when we access that higher consciousness. Let's go explore. I said a lot. Did I answer the question?
You did. And it's interesting because, as we are recording, I am facing my balcony and my dad's been giving me signs for hummingbirds. So I live in Vancouver and it has been freezing cold. They've been gone for a week and it just came back and it went to the hummingbird feeder.
Oh, hi, Dad. That's
Happy
so cute.
birthday, Dad. Sorry, I get sidetracked.
Did you say it's his birthday today? It's his birthday today.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. What? So he's just interrupting, but that's okay. We love when spirit pops in. We take it. We take it. So I've actually had hypnotherapy. And this individual was a Reiki master teacher as well. She never talked about spirit guides and working with past lives. How I really want to get into this. How does that all fit into hypnotherapy? Like the work that you do? I'm so curious about that.
Well, kind of as I just kind of explained, hopefully in English. It's interesting sometimes because it'll make sense in my brain. And then when I spit it out, it doesn't. But what I kind of wanted to touch on is that when you enter any state that is conducive to change, it must be a receptive state. That is also very akin to meditation. It is different. Meditation is a clearing of the mind so that you may receive information. Hypnosis has an objective. We are going into hypnosis to achieve an objective, whether that's meeting a spirit guide or quitting biting your nails or losing weight. You have to enter that receptive state. And so when you're doing a therapeutic hypnosis, you are essentially going to a deeper level. When you're doing spiritual hypnosis, it's an even deeper level. It takes so much longer for me to get a client to the depth they need to be that is conducive to speak to their higher consciousness, their guides, than it does for me to help you stop smoking. I could specialize in weight control, smoking cessation, habit control, all of those things. It's just not where I find I thrive. It's not my favorite. And so I think when you pick something that you love to do, your best work comes out. And that's what I found. So for me specifically, yes, I do Reiki. Yes, I do EFT. Also, I pull cards for my clients. My playground, my favorite place to be is helping you discover your soul. What makes you, you, a unique, beautiful snowflake blueprint, fingerprint of this universe, because there's no one else like you. And I love helping you uncover that. So I could, anyone, you can specialize in whatever you want, but you still need to get to that altered state to be able to do XYZ.
I love it. Makes perfect sense. Like we can have one modality, but there's so many different approaches to doing it. And this is what's making the work that you do so incredibly unique and impactful and powerful, Lindsay. Was there a moment in your own life when you realized like your energy and your subconscious weren't yet working fully together?
I mean, every day. I just did an interview before this, and when I proclaimed, like, I really don't think I'm ever gonna show up and speak to anyone claiming to have figured it out. I hope I never figure it out, because anyone who tells you they have is probably not being truthful. No one has it figured out. We're all doing the best we can. So that's step number one. But yeah, I mean, there are times, usually it's when I'm really intent on a manifestation. Like I have a goal, I have a next step, a next level that just isn't here yet. And I'm like, now I have to figure out why. Is it my impatience? Is it because I'm grabbing onto it too tight? Is it because I have some resistance that I haven't really fleshed out yet? Is it because I don't think I'm really worthy of this goal? And so there's a lot. It is a beautiful opportunity. Anytime your subconscious is translating something differently than you'd like, it's a beautiful opportunity for you to figure out what is going on. And sometimes we welcome that invitation and we do the work and we answer the questions. We ask and answer the questions. Sometimes we ignore it and we just get mad. And I've done all of the above. So I'm just here to tell you what works, what doesn't work, and hopefully be able to practice it better myself tomorrow. We always just want to be better than we were today, right? So yeah, I mean, of course there is, and it is usually when it comes to impatience with my manifestations, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? I ordered this 7 months ago. Where is it? That kind of thing, which is, I think, relatable.
Absolutely. You're keeping it real. You talk about being like energetically matched with a goal. Can you talk a little bit about what that means? Because for me, I have my calendar, and my office actually just got redone. So I've got my calendar. I'm going to put my manifestation board up there. How do you actually make sure you're an energetic match for what your goal or your desire is? Because there's a lot of people that will go, I focus, I visualize. It doesn't show up. What's the issue? It doesn't work. It's all hype. But your approach is different.
I think this might be a good time to explain kind of how the subconscious works when it comes to goal achievement. And you don't need to really do anything except just picture something. And if you can't picture it, just try to get a sense of it in some way. So if we can all just imagine that your mind is a circle. We know the brain is different than the mind. We're talking about the mind. Go with it. It's a circle. When you're born, you have literally the only thing you're born with is the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Those are innate in us. We cannot remove them. They are part of our biology due to evolution, thank goodness. So fear of loud noises, fear of falling, and then of course the lizard brain, which you call the fight, flight, freeze, fawn, whatever, that is triggered with the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Everything else, you're just a blank slate besides those things. As you're going along and bumbling along and learning new things in the world, your mind is completely open. That's why they say kids are sponges. We are taking in everything. If you raise your child to believe that blue is actually purple, it has nothing to discern or nothing to go against that. So it is going to believe that. As we get older, around 7 to 9, you have, since you were born, taken in all this information, all these truths about you. So like things that even a 5-year-old would know to be true about them would be like, I love chocolate cake. I don't like broccoli, or I love when it's my birthday. I don't like when it's my brother's birthday because I don't get presents. Like you just know things about yourself. As you get older, like I said, around 7 to 9, you get what's called a critical filter or a critical mind, which acts as the barrier between the newly formed conscious mind and now what is the subconscious mind, which holds all of those automatic behaviors and truths about you. It also holds your breathing, your digestion, all of the things you don't have to think about, including how to ride a bike, how to drive, how to speak. All of these things are subconscious. The conscious mind is about 5% of your mind. And every single time I see a new study, it goes to like 3%. 2%. It's like 0.5%. Nobody really knows, I don't think, but the number is very small. It's a fraction of your mind power. Everything else is subconscious. So when you have like, and in the conscious mind, by the way, you have your decision-making skills, your logic, your reasoning, your willpower is in the conscious mind. And it's also the place where you develop new goals or desires. And so when you have a new inspired goal or desire, it starts in the conscious mind. It gets you all excited. You get the butterflies. Oh, that would be so cool if it happened. It then checks in with the critical filter. Remember, that's the bodyguard outside the club with the clipboard. It checks in to see if there's anything in the subconscious that goes against that goal. If there's anything in the subconscious that goes against that goal, it's going to kick it right back out. And so that's why we feel all excited in the beginning. We have momentum. We have all the positive vibes. And then we kind of lose steam. We realize all the reasons it might not work, why we're not good enough, why it's not here yet. We're so impatient. Where is it? All of these things start to creep in because there's something in your mind, your subconscious mind, your automatic behaviors that is telling you, no, it's not safe. By the way, the only reason you don't have a goal is because your subconscious does not believe it's safe. It doesn't mean it hates you or it doesn't want you to have it. Its job is to keep one foot in front of the other, keep you breathing, keep you surviving. And if there's information in there that goes against your goal, but tells your subconscious this is what helps us survive, it is just going to keep going with the regular scheduled programming until you decide, maybe I want to change this up. Maybe I do have a say. Maybe I have a choice in what my subconscious believes. And that is where the fun starts. So what I do with hypnotherapy, I'm almost done. That's a lot.
No, this is amazing. Okay, I love it.
What I do with hypnotherapy is I take your beautiful, shiny goal or desire. I create a pathway. We tip the bouncer 50 or $100. I don't know, inflation. We tip it $100. We get in to the subconscious and we create new knowns. What do you want to believe? What do you want to believe is automatic, natural for you? What do you want to believe is the natural next step for you, the right next step? And then watch your reality start to mold around what your subconscious believes is true. You are 100% successful at creating the life you have based on what your subconscious believes is true. 100% successful at goal achievement. Now, what could you achieve if you actually knew you had a choice? Is all I'm saying. I'm done.
This is wild because, when people go, and I've done this before, the law of attraction, vision board, affirmations, little reminders on my phone, tap in, and certain things just don't show up. And then I go, well, what the heck did I do wrong? And what you're saying is there might not be anything that you're technically doing wrong. It's your subconscious that needs reprogramming.
Well, and there's something that should be said about conscious affirmation. All the things you just listed are conscious, right? So you're using 5% of your mind at most to go up against 95% of what it knows to be true. Crazy. So it's doing something. I'm not going to say it's not doing anything. Affirmations work if you believe them. Now, there's this is a whole other thing. Affirmations really irritate me because most people do affirmations wrong. There's 50% of the population that cannot say, I am abundant, I am successful, I am, 95 pounds, whatever you want to say, because you don't believe it. If you're doing affirmations, you have to say it in a way that your subconscious takes in information. Part of the work in my very first session with clients is figuring out how you take in information, unique, beautiful you take in information so that I can craft my language to how you will receive it. An alternate to give me any affirmation that maybe you want to try. Just anyone.
I make $50,000 a month in my spiritual business with ease and grace.
Now, how does that feel in your body?
My solar plexus starts to tingle.
Okay.
And there's excitement with it.
Good. Now, if I said I make $50,000, I'd be like, no, you don't. What do you mean? No, you don't. Why are you saying that? For half of the population, I am affirmations feel really good. They feel so nice and cozy. For the other half, it feels like wearing shoes that don't fit. Your subconscious is not an idiot, obviously. It's going to know if there's an energetic difference between what you're saying and what it knows to be true. Again, it's not doing nothing, but it's not doing as potent of a job as it could be. And if you're feeling discouraged as you're saying it, that's doing more than the words you're saying. Okay.
Gotcha.
So another way to say that, let's say you're somebody who can't do I am affirmations. That's okay. There's a lot of people that don't like them. You could say, I am so excited for the opportunity to increase my revenue. I'm excited for all the ways money can come to me. I am open to receiving on a level I never have before. I am willing to, I am open to, I'm excited for. Those are all things that feel a little bit more palatable to somebody who can't do I am affirmations, and you can fill in the blank at the end. But if you say I am open to, it's sometimes much better than saying I am. So just a side note, affirmations work. They just are working with the conscious mind. If you want quick change, that's a subconscious thing.
Let's get into it. So let's do it. Let's cut the BS. I mean, people want stuff quick, fast now. They don't want to take a year. They don't want to play the waiting game. And the subconscious is the easiest way to get in there. When you're working with clients, what do you see as like the biggest shift in their transformation from the moment they walk into a session with you to after they've done work with you? Where do you see them come into alignment with themselves and their goals?
So there's always a moment inevitably with a client, and one in particular comes to mind, a recent client that I had. And the first session I had with her, I wanted to just reach through the screen and give her a hug, because I know that sounds cheesy, but her energy, and anyone who's in the like a healer or a teacher or any kind of coach can understand, hopefully, the feeling that when I tune in, not even on purpose, I tune into your energy, I can feel your energy. And it just felt defeated, sad, like hopeless, but not dangerously hopeless. Just like, well, what do I do now? Like, what do I do? And I know I'm the last resort, but I always say I'm happy to be the last resort, because you're not going to need another last resort. Like I will be the queen of the last resort. Please just know that this is the last stop. Like, you're not going to need anything else after this. But there's always a moment, even with a client who has the lowest, energy and just feels like, what else is there? Like, is this even possible? There's always a moment, 2 sessions, 3 sessions in, where they show up and you can feel the lightness. You can feel them sitting taller, and their skin looks like it's glowing. Like, I can't even explain it. But I even mentioned specifically to this client, I was like, how are you feeling? And she's like, I woke up this morning and I feel so much hope, and I feel just alive, and I feel like I haven't felt in a really long time. I was like, I can see it. Like, I can physically see it on you. And it's a beautiful moment. That's probably the best physical way. But other than that, it's really just, I have voice memos from clients that are like, I got the promotion, or like, it's a vibe. It's an excitement. It's an anticipation. It's like, I'm living for the next amazing surprise that's going to show up for me, rather than what disaster is around the corner. like it's just it's a vibrational shift that then, like I said, creates the reality around you. It attracts opportunities, people, trips, and decisions that you used to make the same decision over and over and over. And now you find yourself making a different decision. And it's that aha moment. And I say this is the sneaky thing about hypnosis, because it's very hard to put into tangible words what a client can expect, right?
Yeah.
Because the nature of hypnotherapy is a subconscious work. It is on a subconscious level. By definition, you're not going to realize it's happening, because that's the work of a hypnotherapist, is in the work of your subconscious. It's not conscious until you come up against the same problem, the same decision that used to take you out. Now you're like, maybe I can make a different decision. Maybe I could feel better about this. Maybe I just feel better in my day. it is insidious in the best way because it sneaks up on you and it changes you from the deepest part of you. And so you may not even notice it at first until you do. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to explain.
No, I think you've explained it perfectly. It does make sense. It's because it becomes a part of who you are. It shifts who you are at the deepest level. And not only are you seeing it physically, like by the person's face and their emotional changes, like it literally is shifting their life. This is massive work. How did that inspire you to create your app, Align Your Mind?
Oh my goodness. The app came about because I really wanted a more accessible way. I wanted to, because, time is limited. My time is limited. And so I had a lot of clients for a minute. I had like a 6-month waiting list, and I don't want people to wait that long. Like, how long have you been living with this? Now you got to wait 6 months? No way. So I thought it would be a nice way to dip your toes into the work, into hypnotherapy, to see what it can do for you. It's very easy to use, easy to access. It's just a compilation of all my best digital products. So all my hypnotherapy audios, I have EFT sessions in there. I have card pulls. I have live events that I do every month where we all get together and just deal with the energy that we're in, and hopefully add some good vibes to it. But it's a great little space. And I just wanted it to be more accessible. And I think it is. I think I did the job.
That's a heart of service right there.
Yeah.
Pardon me. That's totally a heart of service, because the work that you do is meant to change people's lives, but it's easier when you're able to reach more people. And that takes a lot of work. I mean, I've seen a lot of people in the spiritual community create apps, and not all of them have kind of landed with people. And what you're doing is changing people's lives. Can you maybe share like a simple tool or practice that can help people when they're feeling out of sync, like with their own intuition, when they're feeling out of sync with their own higher self?
Well, there's a lot of things that I do, but there's one that I really want to tell people, because we don't do this enough. Sit down and be quiet. Is the best thing I could say. Literally sit down, stop moving, put your phone away, preferably in another room, and just be quiet. Maybe you're allowed to ask yourself questions. I encourage questions. Why might I be feeling this way? Where do I feel it in my body? If my soul wanted me to know one thing, what would it be? And just be quiet and listen. Don't try to answer right away. Please. Like, I know it's coming off harsh, but just be quiet. Just sit down and be quiet. Like, what else do I say? That's the first thing. And I say that with love, because I say that to myself all the time. Like, Lindsay, sit down and be quiet. Just be quiet and listen. That would be step one. We don't do that enough. And we don't know. I really, truly, I will die on this hill. If you don't love yourself, it's because you don't know yourself. And that's okay. Know that that's true, because you cannot know yourself. I really believe you can't know yourself and not love yourself, because to know yourself is to know your soul. And it is a beautiful thing. You cannot not love it, just like it can't not love you. You know what I mean? Anyway, tangent. But I say, first things first, sit down, be quiet, maybe ask yourself where you feel it in the body, connect to your body, do maybe a little visualization to ground, or to ask your guides or your angels or your ancestors for guidance, and don't expect it right away. Just say, I'm open to it. What's the next step? Just show it to me. I'm ready. I'm open. And just wait. Go about your day. Notice the hummingbirds outside your window. Yeah. Notice the synchronicities, and get excited, because there's so many synchronicities that you're not seeing, but once you attune to see them, they're everywhere and they're awesome. So yeah, I would say if you're feeling out of sorts, start there. And then next step is to focus and really observe how you're speaking about your goals and about yourself, and get that sorted, because that's probably the biggest thing stopping people, is they don't even realize they don't believe in themselves until they observe themselves talking to themselves and hearing their own thoughts. And a good question to ask when you do notice it, let's say you have a thought that feels gross, acknowledge it feels gross. I don't like this feeling. It feels yucky. I don't want to believe this. Question, what is a better feeling thought? Or what would I like to believe instead? And then you can play around with different ways to say that, right? So it really is, I like to say play a lot, because life's hard enough. Like, let this be the fun part. This can be the fun part. You get to have so much control and so much power if you just remember it. Remember it and come back to it and realize that you do know more than you think you do. You're more powerful than you've been led to believe, and just enjoy.
I love that.
Sounds so simple, doesn't it?
It sounds simple, but I think because of society and the way that we've been conditioned to push harder, and we're always reaching outside of ourselves for the next course, the next tip, the next hack, embody somebody else's philosophy, try to emulate who these people are. Like, it's all external. And I think it's caused a lot of mental health issues, a lot of insecure people. And when we remember that we really are everything that we need,
yes,
everything that we desire can be found within. And when we can tap into that, it can create and manifest the life that we desire and deserve.
You're already manifesting your life. You're already doing it. You're an expert at it, I might even say. But now I'm just offering maybe a way to do it a little more intentionally and see what you're capable of when you do it intentionally. Sorry, I'm talking to your audience, not necessarily you, but yeah, you too. I guess.
Okay, and become
it too.
Yeah, no, I'm taking it. It's all good, but exactly, you're helping people be intentional so they can start intentionally creating the life they want instead of being like a victim of circumstances. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, life can be tough, but start taking your power back, and you're really helping people do that. Lindsay, it has been so amazing to have you on the show and to connect with you and to learn a little bit more about you and this incredible work that you do. And everybody, if you would love to learn more about Lindsay, her work, and her app, you can check out all the info in the show notes. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
The Connected Spirit isn't just a podcast, it's a remembering of who we are, a remembering of our connection to spirit, and a remembering that we are never walking this path alone. Mediumship isn't just about speaking with spirits. It's about deepening the connection to our own spirit, to one another, and to the energy that moves through everything. So as you leave this space, ask yourself, what part of this conversation stirred something within you? What connection is spirit inviting you to strengthen? If this episode spoke to you, please share it, leave a review, and connect with me on Instagram at Medium Courtney Dawson, or visit my website at mediumcourtneydawson.com. Your presence in this community matters, because connection isn't just about what we seek, it's what we are. Until next time, trust your spirit, trust the unseen world, and trust that you are always, always connected.